Today I'm going to be running you through the steps of building your own home, everything you need to know before you actually get to construction. So if you're a first home buyer who's building, or a first home builder, or even if you've got a little experience, this is definitely going to help you anyway. I'm going to be talking from my first-hand experience, having just built our own home. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, go down below this video, hit that subscribe button while you're down there and ring the notifications bell so that you're notified every time I post. I'm going to be sharing lots more on this whole experience that I've been through, and I hope to help you on your journey too. All right, let's get stuck into it. The steps you need to know before you start your build and what you're going to go through. First and foremost, you need to know your borrowing power, how much money you have to spend and what you can afford. This is going to determine a lot of the decisions you make later on. So get armed up, know the exact dollar number that you have to spend. The best way that I found to do this is we went to a broker. They were able to approach the banks and find out what we were able to borrow. When we added that against what we had saved, we then knew we were able to spend on the house and the land and the whole lot as a package. If you do want me to go into a bit more detail about the entire cost of the home and everything you need to put in your budget, let me know if you'd be interested in that kind of video. Just pop a comment down below in the comments section, and if you're interested, I might do that video for you guys in the future too. But know your borrowing power, chat to a broker or a bank directly and they can let you know that figure too. All right, the second item on your list needs to be your location. Location, location, location is what they always say, and it rings so true because you really need to know where you want to live. Sometimes we would love to live somewhere but we can afford another place, so again your budget's going to determine this. But maybe you want to pick somewhere that's central to your work location, your kids' school, okay, or certain public community access if you want transport locally or a shopping centre. So have a look at a map. What we did is we had a look at a map of Sydney when you want to live in a Sydney suburb, and we figured out what suburbs were really central to us for family and work and things like that. So get a map out, scribble on it, figure out where you want to live. Once you figure that out, you need to go into those areas and establish what land is for sale. Do they have existing suburbs that have some empty vacant lots in them? Do they have old rundown suburbs that you might want to knock a house down in? Or do you have suburbs that are brand new estates, fresh land that you can come in and buy a block that's sitting there ready to go? So those are kind of your options. The other one with the estates too, there might be land there that is registered, that's ready to build on, but you could also have unregistered land. So you might be able to get an unregistered piece. You might be sitting on it for 6, 12, maybe 18 months before you can build on it, but that'll give you a bit more time to save and go through the other steps too. So have a think about all those things when you come up with your location. Number 3 is finding your block of land. So once you figured out the location, you've nutted all the way down to the suburb or the estate, figure out the exact block of land you want. You can do this based on the measurements of the land, so you might want a certain square meterage that you know that you're happy to settle for, or again, take into account your budget, you might have to pick a block based on that. I know when we were searching for our blocks of land, the estate that we decided to go with was having a sale on corner lots, and typically, even though they are more expensive, in this particular estate at this point in time, they were cheaper and there was a fair few of them to choose from. So the day that we went and had a look at blocks, we drove around, had a look at all the corner blocks that were available at that really good discounted price, and we picked the 2 that we liked the best and kept a really close eye on them for a few months, and then we put our deposit down on the one that we wanted. When we went through this process, we engaged a solicitor to go through all the contracts and get the block all sorted out, and again we're working within our budget and our means. I will be doing another video on making sure you stay within your budget. When that's done, I'll probably link it up above here for you now, so make sure you keep an eye out for that video too. Step number 4 for us was to define our house wish list. What do we want in a home? Do we want a single story or a 2-story home? Do we want 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, how many bathrooms, living space? So we really wanted to define what we wanted in a home and our checklist of things. So we went through, we know that we wanted a 3 or 4 bedroom home, we needed at least 2 bathrooms. We wanted something to fit nicely on a corner block that could take advantage of the views that we had at our block. So we made that little wish list. All right, and once you have your wish list, step number 5 is going to be researching the houses that you can pick from and going and viewing all the display homes. Now this is probably the most fun step and the one that I thoroughly enjoyed, but go and have a look at as many display homes as you can. In Sydney, I know that Home World are really good at this. You can go there and you can see a large majority of the builders all in one place. If you're looking for something that's more of a rural, sometimes they aren't in the home world. So if you're looking for building on a more of a rural or a larger lot, you might need to go out of the home world area. But if you're looking at a normal standard lot, Homeworld has a lot of great options and a lot of builders in one place, so check them out if you're in Sydney. So we went around, viewed all those display homes, figured out exactly what we wanted, what we liked, and we started a conversation with the builders that we liked the floor plans of, to kind of understand what they're about, their philosophies, their build styles, their timeframes, and their budgets. Number 6 though was to narrow that all down. So we kind of figured out what floor plan we roughly wanted. We saw about 2 or 3 builders that we were kind of confident in, that we wanted to pursue a little further, and they had floor plans that we liked, that we could make a few tweaks here and there too. And once we figured all that out, we went and had a serious conversation with those builders, and we did some research. So we went out and we checked out different Facebook pages, we talked to other people that we know that had built their own homes, and we did a lot of that research and had a lot of conversations to see who we really wanted to trust in the market with all of our money to build our home. So for instance, in the suburb we had bought our land in, there was a Facebook group for everyone in the suburb, and heaps of people on there having conversations, chatting about building their new homes. So we went through a lot of those conversations and saw what builders they said were good, who was on time, who was on budget, and who was not. Okay, and that really reflected poorly on some builders and highly on others, and that changed our decision actually on who we wanted to go with. We had a bit of a split decision, and we went with McDonald Jones Homes based on all the feedback that we kind of collated in the research that we did. We had a floor plan we loved, we were really confident in the people that we talked to there, their processes, and being one of the biggest builders in New South Wales, we were really happy that we knew their reputation would serve us well and create a beautiful home, and it did. So trust your gut instinct on that one too. So number 7, again, is to get more detail from those builders. So once you've got the builder locked in, go there, sit down, have a conversation, bring the floor plan you want, make the changes, scribble on it with some texters. That's the fun bit. You get to get your creative design side out and get all that nutted out. And then after that, you're going to be able to get a tender from the builder. They're going to be able to tell you exactly how much it's going to cost you to make your home with the alterations you desire. Some builders, you have to pay for that particular tender process. Others will do it free once you put a deposit down. So have a look at the different builders and get your tender done so you know exactly what you're dealing with. They should also be able to do a soil test for you too, to understand what kind of base and foundation your home needs. So once you've done this and you've figured out exactly which builder you want to go with, you're then going to be putting your deposit down with that builder and signing some contracts. All right, when you do this, you need to really keep an eye out, be safe with your contracts. If you know a lawyer, or in my case, my videographer and best friend is also a lawyer, so if you have one of those, use them. They can look through that contract and make sure it's fine and make sure that everything in there is going to be covering you. I know for a fact that a lot of the contracts with the New South Wales builders at least come under the HIA, which is the Housing Industry Association, and they're pretty standard throughout. But that doesn't mean you want to be naive. You want to double check everything and make sure it's all right, because this is one of the biggest spends you're ever going to make in your life. So double, triple, quadruple check it. Make sure it's all right and then sign it. Okay, the next piece that you want to get ready for is all your appointments with your builder. You're going to be going through your external, internal and electrical fixtures and finishes through your home. So you definitely need to be prepared to spend a bit of money during these appointments. I have done a video for you and I'm going to link it up above here for you right now. It is the upgrades that I think are worth your money. So don't forget to watch that one before you go into your appointments to know what you should be spending your money on and what I think makes a big difference in your home at the end of the day. But essentially, you're going to walk into these appointments, pick everything inside your home, all your paint colors, your brick colors, your roof colors, downlights, what kind of lights you want, switches, absolutely everything. So be armed, be prepared. Me and my partner, for instance, went and did 2 extra appointments before these, where we went and looked through everything without a consultant before we made our actual selections. And that way we understood all the options we had to pick from, and we had some time to think about it. But it will cost you money, so make sure you're prepared to spend pretty big. We spent $30,000 during these appointments, or they're about $30,000. But you could easily spend $50,000 or more, depending on the size of the home, of course, and what kind of finishes and fixtures you like. But it is probably not going to be the cheapest appointment, and I don't think you'll get out of there spending nothing. So just be prepared, have that in your budget. All right, the next piece of the puzzle is going through the building approvals. So once everything's picked and done, your builder will probably just do this for you, is they submit everything through to council or a private certifier, and you get everything signed off that you're allowed to actually go ahead with building your home, that the council approves of your plans, which is very exciting once this is done, because your last step is to actually go onto the build list. And after that, you're going to commence construction. So a lot of the builders have a list of people that have finished all this process I've talked about, and they are ready to start building. So once you've done all those steps, you'll go on that list and you'll be in the line to start your construction. But that is not a reason to rush to get on this list. I want to warn you now, take your time in everything pre-construction. Don't be annoyed if you think the builder is mucking you around and it's taking ages to get anything done. You want everything to be perfect and you want to be really happy with everything before you get on that build list. Because if you change your mind on anything once you're there, it's going to cost you big money. So be happy, be really confident in your decisions you've made, take your time. And that means that when you get on this build list, you are going to get a house built very quickly because you're not going to be making any changes and it's not going to cost you extra time or money. Alright, that is basically everything I can recall that I did during my initial process. I also want to throw a little thank you in here to my friend Alina. She has also gone through most of this process at the moment too. She's building her own home. So me and her came together, brainstormed and figured out all these steps that we both went through, so you just didn't have my opinion and my experience, but hers as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and ring that notifications bell. And if you are happy with seeing this video and happy I shared it, give me a thumbs up. I would love that too while you're down there. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.